Hey, this is Rick with Outdoor Emergencies at hikingemergencybeacon.com, and today I want to bring these two awesome satellite communicators or satellite messengers to you. They are, in my opinion, two of the very best in the world, and they're a bit different. They're both by Garmin, but I want to show you the differences in a bit more detail today, and maybe that'll help you make your decision if you're looking at buying one or the other. But before I do that, please like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. Now, just to make sure you're aware, this is the Garmin GPSMAP 67i. It is the newest satellite communicator out from Garmin in the inReach series. And it is the #1 top of the line. I've heard some of them say it's their flagship device. And from my testing of it, I agree, absolutely is. If you're currently considering looking at a 66i because you might save 150 bucks, I'm just saying wait, save some money, get the 67i. The battery is much better, you get worldwide maps on it, it's so much easier to use, and you'll really appreciate it if you do. Because I had somebody that I've been talking to a lot recently, and he got a 66i, and he's been having nothing but trouble because I think he's from England, and he's been traveling out to Indonesia, and he's trying to get maps out there. It's been a problem. On the 67i, I was able to download maps right and left, Korea, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, no problem. 66i is different. So the Mini 2 is also in an inReach device, and it is, you can see size-wise, it's a lot smaller. They both sync to your smartphone, and they both sync to the Messenger app and the Explorer app. And you can see topo maps on both of them. Well, sorry, on the device itself, you can see topo maps on the 67i. On the Mini 2, you can't. You can see your tracks, you can see the courses or the routes and tracking back and all that. You can see that, but you can't see topo maps. On the 67i, you can. Now, when they're synced to your smartphone and you're using your Explorer app, you can see maps on the smartphone when they're synced with either one of these. All right, the other thing about this is new also. This is not more than a year old, the Mini 2. And what I love about the Mini 2 is how small it is. Now, it looks thicker back here because it has the Garmin backpack tether. Both of these do. I'll have a link in the description below for these. It's really the only way to carry these. Now, if you're a hunter and you don't want the Velcro, just remind you of that. You won't want that to be pulling on and off the pack, as you will scare the animals away. All right, that's basically it between the two. They both have messages, SOS, weather, navigation, and they both sync to the Explorer app. Let's look a little bit at the device, and I want to show you some of the differences of what you're going to see when you're looking at things on this 67i versus the Mini 2. So on the 67i, you have all these buttons on the front, and there's up, down, left, right, there's find, mark, quit, enter, page, menu. So there's quite a few buttons on here. It's not touchscreen, so if you want to text and things like that, you'll need to use the buttons to get around. When I was just doing the video on the Alpha 200i from Garmin, it's touchscreen. The Garmin Montana 700i and the 750i, also touchscreen. I like the touchscreen, but sometimes you don't want the big device, and it's better to use the buttons if touchscreen means that it's going to be a bigger device. Now, the fastest way to get into the menu, if you hit this menu button twice, you'll get into the menu. Now, the reason I'm going into this real quick, because I need to go into setup, and I need to go over to display, because every single time you power this device off, the screen capture goes away. So you have to go and hit screen capture. It says press the power key to capture a screenshot. Okay, so now I can screen capture, and it makes a beep every single time I do. All right, so we're gonna get back out of this. Again, I really wanna show you these buttons first. Power buttons on the top. SOS is on the side. Open this right here, hold it down for 3 seconds. Trust me, they're gonna come for you. I've tested this twice with the IERCC, and they've been very quick to respond. One time I was in self-service, I was able to talk to them on the phone. Another time I purposely went outside self-service, so I was able to message. extremely fast. I really like it. You should also test, because you can set up a test ahead of time. You need to set it up like 72 hours in advance, but set it up. You'll be happy you did. It'll give you a lot more confidence if you ever need it. Hopefully you don't. All right, so again, there's these buttons here, plus, minus. So if you're in the menu or the map and you're wanting to zoom in and out and pan around, you pan around by these left and right, up and down arrows, but then you go plus and minus to zoom in and out. So that's pretty much all there is to it, other than on the back, there's the USB-C port. And then there's a flashlight, and then also I believe this is a beacon back here. And so this device, it's definitely about twice as big as the Mini 2, but I'm telling you what, everything it offers, it is my #1 satellite communicator now. The Mini 2 used to be my #1 satellite communicator over the 66i, because the 66i's battery was horrible. This has a really good battery. So on this one here, the power button, just like on the 67i, is on the top. On the side, you have an up and down arrow. You have the SOS here. Again, open that up, hold it down for 3 seconds, and they will come for you. You have an up and down arrow here. Now, I'm sorry, I said up and down over here. This is OK and back on this side by SOS. Up and down arrow on the other side. And then over here also, there's a little flap. Open that up, and you have a USB-C port. All right, that's all there is to it. So when you're messaging and doing things in the Mini 2, you have to use the OK, back arrow, up and down. And that gets more cumbersome when you're messaging. It's much more challenging to message on this than the 67i. You can get pretty good at it and fast. But sorry, I'm just checking to see where Ranger's at, make sure he didn't run off. But this device is awesome. Now, I talked to Garmin, and before I go into this anymore, I talked to him and I said, you know, I think the 67i, this is me and all my wisdom, right? My kids will argue with you about the wisdom part. But I was saying, yeah, the 67i is more for longer outdoor adventures. And they said, no, not exactly. A lot of people, and a lot of people at Garmin, the techs and all that, they have these devices. They're out testing them all the time. And they will use the Mini 2 for longer outdoor excursions sometimes. It has a great battery. You can, see where you're at with your tracks. You can navigate by it. You can still get weather. You can message, SOS, everything. And it's really small. I'm not joking. I really don't notice this on my pack. You see, now, if I turn over here and look, yeah, I'll see something over here. Versus this one here, it's twice as big, at least twice as big, maybe 2 or 3 times heavier. And even though it's a great spot on my pack because of the Garmin backpack tethers, I still notice it's here. But again, it's not, either one's, it's not a pain to carry. And I would still prefer now to have the 67i, because everything it can do as a standalone device, you need to check out the 67i. It's both great. Both of them are awesome. I just will say, because I've talked about this before, why one versus the other. If you're doing a lot of day hikes, this is just my opinion, okay? If you're doing a lot of day hikes and you sync it with your phone and this always stays on your strap, and you're looking at your phone and you got the bigger screen, it's easier to message with both of these if you have it synced with the Messenger app, because if you try to message with the Explorer app, it'll just send you to the Messenger app. But if you're then messaging or getting weather or looking at topo maps, it's so much bigger and easier to see. And messaging is just like when you're texting. The little keys are on here, and it's so fast. You wouldn't notice any difference. So since both of these sync with the Explorer app, I'm not going to go into the differences because there is no difference. It's just very convenient. And again, the guy I talked with at Garmin was saying, some people use this for long excursions, outdoor adventures. I'm just saying, for me personally, I disagree. When I'm on a day hike, I'm going to use my phone. If it were raining and really muddy and horrible outside, then I would use this, because I don't want my phone out, because it can't handle the ruggedness that these can handle. These are military grade or specs as far as dust, shock, waterproof, and all that. So for me, if I'm on a day hike and it's nice weather, I want to use my phone synced with the Mini 2. It's lighter. I don't really notice on my pack. That's the way I'm going to use it. if I'm going to go out on the Colorado Trail, this is something that we were wanting to do and break it up, you know, over the next 5 years, hit sections of the Colorado Trail, because it all goes from Denver to Durango. It's like 490 something miles. But on something like that, yes, I'll have my phone with me, but it'll stay put up and maybe inside a plastic bag in case I fall into a lake or a river. But I'm going to use this as a standalone device. It has a better battery. I can see everything on it. I can message, I can see the maps, and it's much more convenient. For me, this is my longer outdoor adventure device. All right, enough of that. Let me show you real quick, because that sun's going to set in about a half hour or less. We won't be out here at that long, but I do want to get back, and my family's still at home. Sometimes they still like to see me. I don't know why. I keep trying to mess with them and tell bad dad jokes, and they still like to hang out. All right, let's look real quick at this, because if I get going on dad jokes, you guys are, you know, probably turn me off here. All right, what I do want to say though is, before I go into this, if you got a great dad joke, tell me. Just joking. If you have a way that you use the 67i or the Mini 2 and you like it, if in one situation or another, man, leave a comment below. Share it with me, and other people will be able to see those comments too. And it's great to get the advice and see how people use these differently, because we all learn more, and I continue to learn as I keep testing these and talking with all of you. So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to go to the messages. Let's just take a quick look at messages, because SOS is really the same thing. You're going to open this flap on the SOS. It's not a flap, it's a cover on both. You hold it down for 3 seconds, and then they're going to contact you and go, hey, is it a real emergency? And you're going to go, well, yes, I wouldn't have hit SOS if it wasn't. So when I go into messages, then there's send, check-in, new messages. And I've already done a lot of this, so I'm not going to go do a brand new message, but I do want to show you the differences here, and I really need to turn that beep off when I'm taking screenshots. But it says type new message, and then when I go into type new message, this is where there's, at the top, you can then choose who you want to type to. And I just need to go in and do this real quick, because I want to show you something. So I've got this, it sends a check, puts a check mark by the name, and you go back up to the top, and then you hit done, or you hit enter. I've already done that. Type recipients. Okay, you hit type recipients again. So now it shows my son right here. And what's great about this is, I don't know if you can see this, but there'll be a screenshot up. But there's the buttons, or the letters and numbers in here. And you still have to use this and arrow around. It's not a touch screen, but it's so much easier. It's easy to type it around. So then when you're done with that, you hit done at the bottom, and then you can go in and you type in the actual message that you want. Then after that, then you hit send message. I don't want to do that. It says discard, so I'm going to discard. But that's how simple, well, I say it's simple. If you have a touch screen and you can touch those numbers like you do on your phone, or those letters, then it's much easier, but you can arrow around. Now, the difference here is on the Mini 2, you have to hit OK. And I think on this, I don't have to do, and I know I don't have to do screenshots, or you have to hit, if you want to do a screenshot, if you want to know, you have to hold the OK and the up arrow down at the same time. Now, I will say that sometimes it gets to be a pain, because if you hold one down faster than the other, it won't take the screenshot. So this says send messages right here at the top. So I'm going to click on that by hitting the OK button, and then it says next, type contact. So it's giving you the same thing, but now it says type contact. So now I got to arrow down, and then I got to select I have to hit OK on, say, my son's name. Same thing here. I'm going to hit it. Now I can, again, select more than one person, and I can then you keep hitting OK, or the OK button to select them. Now, one side note with the Mini 2, and the same with the 67i, when you have it synced, or synced with the Messenger app, you can do group messaging. The thing about group messaging is you can't just click different people and say I'm doing group messaging on Messenger app. It doesn't work that way. you have to get each person that you want to be in the group message to download the Messenger app also. They don't need a Garmin inReach device to use group messaging on Messenger. They just have to have that app, and once they go in and you know, install it, then it shows up as, I think, an orange color. And so then if I group message, then it will not go to each person individually. It'll go to them as a group, and they can respond as a group. Just remember that. If you think you're going to use group messaging, you're not going to be able to use it unless you get the other people to also get the Messenger app. All right, so I'm going to hit OK right now. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to hit OK because I already selected him. Well, no, if you hit OK, it selects them. So now I need to go back up to the top. I just turned it off. Unbelievable. So when you have everybody selected that you want to message, one or however many, then you go back up to the top, you arrow back up, and you hit next. Now it's going to take you to another screen where it's going to say, it says type message. And now you can arrow down right there, and it says, I found a great campsite. You have to see this place. I mean, I put in these messages ahead of time. Giving me a minute. So I've already got these in. So instead of typing things in all the time, I put some things in like, I need help. I'm checking in. Everything's okay. I'm starting from here. I'm stopping here. I'm having a great time. I'm on my way. I'm going to be late. So this really helps you to not have to type so much. If you put common things in or things that you're going to say a lot, or, you know, if somebody's asking how you're doing, it's really helpful to do that. So I'm going to go back up to the top, and again it says type message. Now, if I then type message, this is where it's different. You have these the letters and numbers on the side, and then there's a screen that shows what you're typing in. And when you start typing in, it auto-fills. Because when you start typing in a word, the other options, the words will show up here, and then you can select it and you don't have to type as much. So it's really a really nice feature. But that's really the difference here between messaging. It's much easier on the 67i. The screen's bigger, it's easier to see. It's easier to arrow around and type in a message faster than on the Mini 2. You can get good at this, and you can message quickly. And of course, if it's synced with your phone, you can message really fast on both of them. All right, I'm going to get out of here, so I'm going to hit the return button here. We're going to get out, and let's see. Let's get out. Oh, in this case, you can't get out. You have to go back up, and you have to hit the back arrow, I think, or the check or delete. There is a trash icon there. So you have to, I'm deleting the message. All right, so that's how you get out. So now I can back arrow all the way out. Now, I want to show you two other things real quick. I want to show you the weather, and I want to show you the navigation. And let's always start with the 67i here. So we're going to go down to weather. And again, you just arrow around, it's color screen, it's really nice. There's active weather and there's inReach weather. Active weather on this, you have to at least be in cell service. I don't think you have to be in Wi-Fi, but cell service. It takes a little time, and I've had some issues with it, but it will show the clouds, the storm, whether it's red, green, yellow, white, purple for hail. It's really nice because you can get more information, but I haven't had it. I mean, I've gotten the information before, but it took a long time to get, so I don't really use it. So we're going to hit on inReach weather. It says new forecast, and it says my location extended. I'm going to go new forecast, and I want to go basic this time. Now it says basic my location, the marine is off, and I'm going to go down to get forecast, and now it's saying sending requests and then waiting for the response. So before we get out of this and go into the Mini 2, we're just going to wait for a minute or two, however long it takes. It actually goes pretty quick. I am not in cell service out here, so I just got one beep already, and it means it is sending the request up. And if I quit talking, you might be able to hear the two beeps when it receives the weather. Oh, by the way, I'm not going to get a weather forecast because I had switched my subscription over to the Garmin Alpha Tuner I. I've just been out here testing it. It's the one that is inReach also, but you can also then track your dogs, up to 20 dogs on it. So I will not get a weather forecast today. Bummer deal. So I do have other weather forecasts I've gotten on this. and I will show you that. You will already have seen that on the screen. So on the Mini 2, we are going to arrow down to past navigate, and we are going to, where's weather? It might be under the inReach service plan. I don't know. Let's see. No, I know where it's at. This is one thing that always gets me. When you're at the main screen here, if you go up or down, you will see navigation and weather from right here. So I'm going to hit the down arrow. It says new messages, and then it says tracking, and then if you arrow down, it says navigation and weather. We'll go to navigation in just a minute, but I'm gonna go to weather. This is where you do this. All right, so when I click on weather, it says press OK to update forecast. And I'm gonna hit OK, and it says basic extended. I hit OK already back there. I see if you don't hit both these simultaneously, sometimes it'll jump to the next screen. So I'm hitting update. It says change location. What happens if I change location? Let's see. I'm not sure. Change location. Okay. It says new location, my location, Gulf of Mexico. I've already done a Gulf of Mexico location to get the marine weather. I want to see what happens here if I go to new location. So it says, oh, what it has right here is different places I've already been. I don't know that I can actually select. It says waypoints. It's showing waypoints that I can get weather from. This is one thing it's not as nice as the 67i. On the 67i, when it says new location, then I can go on the map and I can go pan around and I can pick a location. I can't do that here. It's asking for a waypoint I've already created in the past. All right, so we're gonna get back out of here. That's one thing I just wanted to see. And then it says update. All right, so I'm gonna hit update. But now it says basic and extended. Now it's updating weather, but again, it's not going to update weather because this does not have an active subscription. Again, it sent the request, but it will not get the request because I don't have a subscription with the Mini 2 right now. Well, the sun really is starting to set, so let's take the sunglasses off. Let's go look at navigation real quick. And this is just a real quick, video of showing you some of the main differences, so you'll again have a better feel for if you want one or the other and you want to see some of the differences. So we're going to go back in here and we're going to go to it's the map manager. Now there's map manager and there's course planner. Personally, I do the course planner. So you click on course planner, it says create course, and it says direct path roads and trails. That's nice. You get an option to do that. And right now I'm just going to say direct path. It says select first point. And then here's where it says use map, recent finds, waypoints, cities, points of interest, all kinds of things like that. So this has a lot of power when you're wanting to navigate. So if I hit use map, then now it goes in, and now that's where it says use. So if I can hit enter, select this point, I can arrow around and pick different points to create a course right here on the device. I can do it on the Explorer app, which is a lot easier, and I'd prefer to do it that way, but I can also do it on this. And you can see there's the topo map right there. Super easy to use. Now I'm going to get back out of this because the sun's going down, and you know what happens when it gets dark. Actually, it's great out here. My dog's with me anyway, so I'm going to get all the way back out of here. And that's enough for you to see the difference of what the 67i does. Well, let's do the very same thing, if possible, on the Mini 2. So on the Mini 2, we're going to, in this case, we're going to hit the up or down arrow, and then we're going to go down to navigation. All right, now this is where it gets a little different. I can hit navigation, and so it says navigation, but it's just showing a map. It doesn't show topo map, it shows north, it shows my triangle, it shows where I've sent a message before, and then there's three little bars at the top right. Now if I click on that, it's going to, here it says navigate, pan, zoom, north, up. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to hit navigate. Now it's given me an option to navigate by waypoints, track back, coordinates, sight and go, and courses. Now let's see here, if I want to go to courses, that's great, but I can't create the course on this. I can create it on my phone on the Explorer app, but I can't create it here. Or maybe I can. Let's just go in, because sometimes I get things messed up a little bit. So I'm gonna hit courses, and yes, what happens is the courses show up, but they're courses I've already created. Again, I can create the course on my phone with the Explorer app, but I cannot create the course here. I can hit this and I can navigate by it, and I'll be off to the races, but I can't create the course here as I can on the 67i. Let's go down to Dawson's real quick, and I want to just show you what it looks like when I hit go. Because now I didn't do that on the other one, but I will have screenshots of all this, and you'll get a pretty good feel of the differences between these. I mean, as I'm trying to find this, I'll just tell you real quick. I'm arrowing down, it's all in alphabetical order. But Dunes Overlook, I should be at Dawson's. Maybe I deleted it. I might have deleted it. All right, there's a date here, but it's all in alphabetical order, and I'm gonna click on it, and it shows me the map. And then at the top right, there's the 3 bars. I click on it, it says go, reverse course, pan, zoom, and I'm going to hit go. It says it's loading the course, and then it says start tracking. And in this case here, I'm going to say no, because I don't want to do this right now. All right, so we're going to hit no, but it shows where I'm at, and you know, I've got a long way to go to get this trail, because I think I deleted the course here at Dawson. So again, at the top, there's the three bars, and it says, in this case, stop navigation. And when I hit stop, now it's stopped. And you can see how powerful these are. The 67i blows the Mini 2 away as far as the power, the functions, how easy it is to do things. It's a standalone device. But if you don't want the bigger device, and I will say this really quick, it's not just bigger, heavier, than the Mini 2. It has a lot more functions. Now, the one nice thing is you can go into the menu setup and you can put the things that you like to use at the top, and then you can take things off that you don't ever use. And that makes it easier and not feel so overwhelming. But when I first started using the 66i, by the time I got the 67i, I'd used the 66i so much that I was comfortable with getting around the 67i. But it can overwhelm a lot of people. So if you want something simple and you don't want all these functions and you know all the tech, right, then I would say go with the Mini 2. The 67i is just an awesome device, and it is the top of the line. They're both great. And you know, if you've got ideas or thoughts about how you use either one or which one you prefer, man, leave a comment below, because it's great for me to learn and for others to see about how other people use these devices and their opinions and what they like and don't like. So please leave a comment. And I'm going to wrap this up, because there's a lot more I could show you, but what I really wanted to do today was show you the differences and what they look like. You know, having it on the Explorer app doesn't mean anything, because, you know, you could do the same thing. You could be synced, you could pull your phone out, you never take these off your pack, and you look at your phone and you navigate and message and all that with the device. I do that sometimes. But what I really wanted to show you today was how it looks on the device itself. Say you lose power with your phone, or for some reason Bluetooth isn't working and you can't sync. You may be stuck using this device. Always keep that in mind. And that's why I always come out here and test these, and test them using the device themselves, and not use my phone, because you'll find yourself in a world of hurt at some point if you're just used to using your phone and you never use the device. That's all I got to say right now. I'll have more information in the future. If you've got any comments, thoughts, advice, I would love to hear it. Please leave a comment below, and like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications so you'll be alerted as soon as I put out new videos. And if you'd like to support Hiking Emergency Beacon, there is a link in the description below. Thanks for joining me. Sun setting, still a gorgeous day out here in Colorado, and I will see you back out here in the next video.